All right, so let's move on. You're not a realtor, you're not a home, you're not, renovating houses here. Let's
Right.
talk about the financial aspects of this because when people are in retirement or they started retirement or they're maybe deep in retirement, like
Mhm.
my grandmother, if these changes need to be made, how are those factored into a retirement plan that may already be set in place? How can you adjust that to make these and make it make sense financially for them?
Well, there's two things here. One is you can plan ahead. We're talking about having the conversation early as a child to a parent and telling a parent to say early in their retirement years, my plan is to stay put in this house as long as possible. The same thing as a good financial plan ought to account for or accommodate or consider what the financial aspects of aging in place might be. So that could be that while you're still working, maybe you're making some capital improvements to the home that will position it better if you do stay put in the house. You don't have to put in a new bathroom or anything like that, but maybe there is some plumbing work that can be done. Maybe there are some things that could be positioned a little bit. I would say at the least you want to keep things up to date and upgraded in a home because you don't want them to be falling apart. You want the home to be safe. And if you do eventually have to move, you want the house to hold value. So staying on top of your home, that's one thing. Um, so a good plan needs to accommodate for that. The other thing would be that you have to consider that if your lifestyle costs whatever it is at the point of, I'm going to call it re-inspirement, not retirement, but at the point of dialing back and earning a lesser paycheck, you have to account for the fact that you might have some larger expenses at the end of life. So we talk a lot about longevity and not outliving your money. And sometimes we'll show a plan and it might suggest that there's going to be a fair amount left over. And I don't want to leave an inheritance. That's not my plan. My kids are great. I don't need, you might need that extra capital in your plan toward the end of life to make some of these improvements. Or if ultimately you can't stay in your home and you need to sell your home and move somewhere else, you might need that extra capital for those added expenses. So you need to bolt on a little bit of a cushion or an expectation on the end. So I would say the front end planning is really key in that. Having a buffer, having a margin of safety, and then on the end, if you're staying in your home and you didn't plan ahead or things didn't go quite according to plan, most people at that age don't have a mortgage any longer, so they have full equity in their home. So you can use the equity of your home to make some of these improvements. There are loans where you can do a reverse, loan where you don't even have to pay it back so much as redo the bathroom or make some of these modifications that could be costly, but you're taking some of the equity out of the house. And ultimately, the house will just be worth less because there'll be a bank note that's owed or a mortgage that's owed. Those are things you can do. And that's why I think it's important to have a full family discussion so everyone understands. And family might be able to help out too. And I think most people don't want to reach out and ask their family for help. But if you're having this open conversation, hey, we can help you restore a bathroom. We can help you move a plumbing line to get the washer and dryer up here on the first floor. Some of those things are conversations that need to take place. Don't let pride get in the way, just really talk it all the way through.